Hi, I'm Empress Rose. Welcome to my channel. Uh, Tarot readings, that's what we do here, mixing in some oracle decks. And so take what works, leave what doesn't. Not every card is going to be relevant to every person watching this. And any interaction with the channel is lovely and amazing, and I truly appreciate it. So, yeah, I don't always respond right away. For my own reasons, but I do appreciate them. I see the interactions and it keeps me relevant to the algorithm. The algorithm's like, okay, that channel's still alive. Okay, we'll keep circulating it, I guess. At least that's what I imagine it's saying. All right, so actually I already started this reading, but we got interrupted by Jack doing Jack things. My cat. Jack is my cat. He was doing cat things. So I'm just going to talk about what's already on the table. So we first started off with Moonology. And we got a win-win outcome is forecast full moon in Libra. So this was really cool too, because we recently had coming out here, and I can't remember if it was the full reading or one of the smaller readings, the full moon in Libra. We had the new moon in Libra coming out, a new relationship, a new situation, a new way of interacting with someone that kind of levels up in your life. And so then the next week coming out with full moon in Libra, win-win outcome is forecast. So that's, everybody gets what they want. It's better than compromise, because compromise can be characterized as lose-lose. So win-win, unless a win-win outcome drops in your lap, it can take a little bit of time. It can take a little bit of thought to make sure you get everything you want and I get everything you want, and how we're going to weave all of these needs and desires together for a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts, a conclusion that's really beautiful and wonderful. So we do have a conclusion here, full moon energy. What have you wrought? And everybody gets what they want, and it's fair. It's fair. It's balanced, it's legal, and what happens here is it works for everybody. Everybody's very happy. So we have this conclusion that comes in. I don't know if it's a conclusion, but it's forecast. So I'm not really seeing that it's for sure, but it's possible. Like, just remember that a win-win outcome is possible. It might take some work, it might take some pulling strings, it might take some effort, but it is possible. So that's really something to keep in mind and keep thinking about. So take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Oh, relax, right? We worked really hard for this win-win outcome. We worked really hard for this. And part of balance is being relaxed. So relax, let it go. You worked hard to get here. You worked hard for this outcome. Make sure you take a moment to recalibrate, to relax. It's giving Four of Swords, of just relax and recalibrate, regroup. So I always say, rest is and sleep are the foundation of really good activity in the future. But we can't have that being the sole reason why we're relaxing, right? If you're just relaxing as a way to work harder and work better, it's not really relaxing, is it? So relaxing for relaxing's sake, but you need to do it. You need to relax. You need to chill out. And then we also got, so I decided I'm using Tiger Breathing Bear's Oracle deck as well, which is actually a little intense. And usually Oracle decks are like, everything is beautiful, everything is light, everything's going to be just fine. And I like that, and I need to hear that, and it helps me stay positive, and it helps me look for positive outcomes and look for positive things we can do. So I decided to balance his deck out, which is a little real, with Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. So I use this a lot. It's a comfort zone for me. It's a comfort zone deck for me. I've used it for years. So I pulled out, before we were interrupted by Jack, this Get Grounded, Empaths, Highly Sensitives, Connect with Nature, root chakra for sure here. I think also some memory work, some spiritual work, some higher self connection, but it's relaxed. So meditation, when we start meditating, well, the first thing I notice, if I haven't meditated for a bit, the first thing I notice is all the emotions I've subconsciously suppressed because they're not acceptable, they start coming up. So so if you start a meditation practice, you may find yourself like feeling angry because you've been pushing that down, or anxious. These are ones I feel. Hopefully maybe you feel happy and that you felt some need to suppress that. So that's what first comes up. Then, you know, and it's more like there's a couple different types of meditation. There's observing the mind, there's relaxing the body, relaxing the mind. It's not just clear your mind, but one of the first things most people notice is how busy their mind is. And then they think, well, I can't meditate. There's too much going on up there. No, it's not that the rest of us don't have anything going on up here. It's that is the first step of meditation, is noticing how busy your mind is and how the thoughts come through. They're halfway there, they don't complete, and then you jump around and there's some repetitive thought. It's just noticing, really. So where am I going with that? I don't know, but this is like more of a relaxing meditation, more of a relaxing your body, because it's coming with this take time to breathe out and get grounded. So we're relaxing, we're reconnecting, and not necessarily for the purpose of going to do our work better. That is an incidental, fabulous side effect, and can often be sort of the, you know, head fake to get us to do that, to meditate. Sometimes when we're in our regular daily mind, we're like, well, I guess if it helps me perform better, then I'll do it. And but that's not the point of it. But that is a good way to get yourself to do it. It's to say, oh, it's going to be good for that. But this is like just actually really connected, really grounded, really breathing and focusing on your body. I feel like focusing on the physical, something with your body, and really working with it to integrate it into earth energy, to bring it down into earth energy. You're going to be very happy that you did. It's interesting, like I could feel it coming through me right now. From this like intellectual, like, what do these cards mean? How do they relate to each other? Are we figuring this out? To just this like, oh, it's not much to figure out here. We're just gonna sit, feel good. Remember, we're just human beings. We're just earthlings here on this earth. And we can just be happy to be here. End of reading. Now I'm gonna do tiger breathing. Under the Shell Oracle. Tiger breathing prayer. Okay. All right. Oh, this is interesting. Wait. I like it. It's got the same pause energy as take time to breathe out. Maybe it's this wait and see idea. A win-win outcome is forecast. It's forecast. It's not here. So wait and see. This is all about preparedness, right? If there's a fire, we want to be ready. We want to be ready to spring into action. We don't want to be depleted. That reminds me of this week. I had an early morning meeting. It was just a general meeting, you know, and wasn't necessary. And I just was like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't know why, but I really feel this really strong resistance to it. Sometimes we need to overcome that resistance because it's self-sabotage. But this time I was like, I don't think so. And then, and it would have involved me getting up super early. And then that evening, something came in and it's like, oh, yeah, because I need to get this done tonight and then get up super early the next morning. And if I'd gotten up super early that morning, I wouldn't have been ready for this thing that I had no idea was coming. So, so that's a little bit of what this is like being prepared, not wasting your time and energy on things that don't need to happen. And this wait, something is coming. It's almost like something exciting is coming, or something energetic, something requiring a lot of energy and resources. And so there's this gathering of the resources, this wait and see, and just try to relax while you wait and see. Try to relax, get grounded, spend time in nature, meditate in this waiting period. I think we're all waiting to see something, waiting and seeing right now. And everybody's a little bit on edge, and there are some worries for sure. So wait and see. Do you really need, are you going to need this hose or not right now? So being prepared. And then the veil, you can't see. That's why it's wait and see. The veil, there's something that stands, there's some barrier that stands between your eyes and the outcome. You can't see. That's why you're waiting. I feel like it's take action when you can see. When you can see the way, take action. When you see the clearing, go towards it. When the trail emerges, move towards it. It's reminding me of, what is it? The art of lion tracking. Anyway, it's about like when just losing the trail in our life. Lost the train of thought myself here. Losing the trail in life and then refinding it again. And it's written by a guide on a African safari area. So, you know, and he's trying to bring his guests to see the cool things, to see the lions, but sometimes he loses their track. So I don't feel like the track has been lost. I just feel like you can't see the footprints or you can't see the trail right now. And so you're waiting because it's like the trail will be revealed. Yeah. Okay. Another thing this is reminding me of. I used to live in Mexico and I would go to these ruins and I just sat down on these ruins. They were not well excavated or anything, not really well known or common. And I was just sort of sitting there, and one of the park guides had seen me kind of circulating around the Mayan ruins from time to time and approached me and was like, hey, do you want to see some other things? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to see some other things. But I had taken time to breathe out. I was meditating and just sitting there. And I was just waiting until I felt it was time to move. And then this person came along, and then right next to me, he moved a bush out of the way, like a dead bush, just debris. And there was this whole trail to a whole other section of the ruins that hadn't been excavated yet, wasn't open to visitors. But he knew that I respected the area and had been really interested and curious about it. So it was just like kind of out of a movie. This trail just appears, and then there we go down the trail to go exploring some stuff, some really cool stuff I didn't know was there. That's a little bit. That's it. That's the story right here. Something really cool coming in. That's what I think. I don't know. We don't know though. The veils, we still can't see it. We can't see the future, and we're just waiting. And in the time that you're waiting for the veil to thin, to be revealed, for things to be revealed, for the outcome, the win-win outcome to be revealed, you're going to have to get grounded, breathe, and wait. Prepare too, because we don't know. All right, let's on to the tarot here. Overall, from the bottom of the deck, 9 of Earth. This is so funny because we've had this one before recently. Being prepared, actually, it's the same thing. Being prepared, you're ready to go, you're here, you're ready, everything's ready, you're ready to get out there, you're ready to go, but you're waiting at home. You're waiting at home for the call, you're waiting at home for the door to be opened, for the veil to be put aside. You're waiting, you're safe. And while you're safe, you might as well get grounded, breathe out. You're safe here, but you are waiting for the next thing. And it's again that like taking care of your side of the street, taking care of your stuff, taking care of your home, cleaning up your situation and your stuff, and getting all of your stuff taken care of your heart and even your inner home, so that you're ready to leave, you're ready to go out. So it does feel like homework, doing your homework, but also your housework and your homework, but all like internal, but also external, because it's 9 of Earth, so it's real in reality. So doing your homework and your housework and getting that done and taking care of that and preparing for this veil to be lifted and waiting and preparing. Yeah. And relaxing for and waiting for this win-win outcome. Past. Oh, no, that's not right. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. It's interesting, a bunch of cards from personal readings showing up here as well. So we have 6 of fire. Six of fire. A lot of energy, a lot of potential energy. Oh, the potential to explode. These are fireworks. They're like boom, TNT, star B, don't TNT, boom. So 6 of fire, it's there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of victory though. 6 of wands, you know, there's this victory, there's fireworks. So, but this feels more like, you know, fireworks are meant to like resemble guns and bombs. So it just seems noisy almost and a little bit threatening, but it's also celebratory. So celebratory and threatening and a little bit noisy. Celebratory, threatening, a little bit noisy. That's someplace we've been in our past. Maybe you had a party and you had to clean up after it. But you win, other people win. So it's like, it is this win-win outcome. That is what I can see in a 6 of fire. Like, you light the fireworks off and everybody else gets to enjoy them. Unless they have PTSD. But everybody else gets to enjoy the fireworks that you light off. Like, you bought them, you paid for them, you found the space to light them off, you light them off, and hopefully everyone around you enjoys that and it's not obnoxious. So it seems like maybe there was a win-win outcome in the past, but also seems explosive. A lot of energy there. And then we have the Sage here. This reminds me, I think this is the Hermit card, but I'm not sure. Being wise, being smart, being independent. Again, there's like this time alone or getting grounded, connecting to nature. I do feel like there is a little bit of time alone needed here. The Sage, really connecting with yourself, connecting with your purpose, connecting with your own energy. He definitely seems to be smoking some weed here, so maybe that's part of your process as well. That could be part of your grounding process. That's not for everybody. Some people have done that for a long time and need to find a different grounding process. So yeah, and it would be sort of like this earth energy, this earthing. But definitely thinking independently. So there's been like some joint success, but now you're thinking independently and thinking separately from the group. And this is where a lot of wisdom is coming up. But I do see it, it's sitting right on top of this one. So I do see it as you getting in touch with inner workings of yourself and knowing yourself well and doing a lot. So far I see a lot of like inner work, calming inner stuff going on here. All right, your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. 4 of arrows. This one's making the rounds. You're not quite sure what this is. It's 4 of swords. It is 4 of swords. It's rest. 4 of arrows. Yeah, it's 4 of swords. It's like that's enough fun and games for now. I really want to think about what I want to do next. I really want to think about what I want to do next. Where do I actually want to put my energy? What do I actually want to talk about? And it's, I think I mentioned it earlier when these 2 cards came out again with the Sage and the 4 of arrows. There's this independent thought coming in and this relaxation, that's conducive to independent thought, right? If we're always, I mean, that's one of the things about like social media. I love it. I love the sense of connection. But also, if you're always on social media, your brain is only thinking what other people are telling you to think. Your brain's looking at what other people are telling you to look at. And the feed aspect takes a little bit of our own volition away from things. So it might be there's a sense of, and that can happen with people too. So it might be there's a sense of pulling back in order to, from other people's ideas and other people's thoughts, in order to make sure that you're being authentic to yourself, and that you know who yourself is, and you know when you're being authentic and when you're being what other people want you to be, and you know that, and that comes from spending some good time with yourself and really thinking about where you want to put your energy next, and being very focused on that and being very self-aware with that. And that's going to take some time away from what other people are telling you to do, what other people want you to look at. Your attention, as we all know, is extremely valuable right now. This is what companies are paying money for, top dollar, for your attention. So you need to value that as much as they value that. So you need to be focused on what you want to focus on. So being intentional about your attention is what I'm seeing here. I think that that's going to be very important, being intentional about your intention, your attention. Attentional. Yeah, I don't think we can combine those words. They're too close to each other, possibly for a reason. Is it intentional? And then what we have here, the reverse, the black hole. So this almost seems like creation, because it's the black hole, it's reversed. So we're spitting back the stars. We're vomiting up the stars we ate. We're producing productivity. Like before, when we get the black hole, it's like throwing productivity and energy at something and not knowing where it's going, not seeing what the results are, not understanding the results, knowing that there are probably results. There's probably some karma being built up here, whether that be like star molecular karma or whatever, but there is something, but it's just not happening for us. So the black hole in reverse seems almost like productivity is happening. It's very productive. It's moving something forward. It's having received something and then getting it back out. I think it's supposed to be the judgment card, but in the reverse it feels much more like the judgment card than in the upright to me, of decisions, results are coming, but they might be paused. Yeah, I feel like this is like a pause situation until the results come. It's a pause and then results, a pause and then results. So the pause and then the results. But yeah, it definitely seems like regurgitation. And I think that that's one thing that you don't want to be doing, is regurgitating just what you've heard, regurgitating what you've heard, what you've read. There's really something very strong about independent thought right here, and not just regurgitating. And that there's so much about creating the space for independent thought here, and not just absorbing what you're being told to absorb. And it's just like the algorithm. It's just, these things coming at us, and then we're just thinking about what is being fed to us and not independently. So there's a sense of too much regurgitation going on, too much repetition of what's been put into the machine, too much vomiting really of what's already been put in, not a lot of new activity here. And that could be in the sense of like a creative process, and just sort of having to do again the same thing, what you're told to do. It could be work, just doing what you're told to do at work, and not necessarily a genuine creative process where you are integrated into the work, where your core self is integrated into what you're saying, integrated into what you're doing, integrated into what you believe and what you think. So the black hole in reverse could be regurgitation, not real results. Yeah, like in school. Like at school is a lot of mental regurgitation. Like, here, we fed you this, and then you just kind of throw back out them a paper that's kind of just rephrases what they said, like deconstructed, you know, like if you ate a hamburger and then you like vomited it up, it'd be sort of a deconstructed hamburger. All the elements are still there. You just kind of put them in your own words. And so a lot of regurgitation like that. And there's always so much reward. So the system loves a well regurgitated message. So 10 of flowers is in your environment. I love this. This is a victory. Yay, we did it. Yay. Peace, happiness, rainbows, coalition. Like, oh, we did it together is the main thing of 10 of flowers. We did it together. And so that's really beautiful and great. We did it together. Fabulous, fabulous work. After difficulty, right? After maybe all of this explosive, loud explosiveness and energy and intensity, there's this like celebration. There's a celebration here of, yay, we did it. So somebody's celebrating. I don't know if you're invited to the celebration or if that's somebody else that's celebrating, but it is a win-win outcome forecast. So I like to think that you're part of the celebration here too. You've been invited to this party. And then we have 3 of arrows. Faith. That's your job. This is your to-do list. It's faith. Believe. Have hope. Remain elevated. It's very emotional. Obviously, we've got Neptune here as part of the 3 of arrows. Is it faith? No. It's communication. Okay, I just paused so that I can get some clarity on this 3 of arrows. Because I was like, yeah, it seems like faith, it seems elevated, but I think you are going to need faith. Your job with 3 of arrows has to do with bursting people's bubbles. There is a little black cloud here in the middle of the situation. A little black cloud. I'm like, wait a minute, the trident, it's emotional. It's very emotional, and it looks like this trident is bursting these bubbles. It could just be you have to say something. And this party? What? Maybe you have to deal with heartbreak. Maybe other people win and you have to deal with some heartbreak. Other people are having fun and enjoying themselves, but and maybe, I don't know, it's your to-do list. So you're either dealing with heartbreak or you're dishing some out. But it comes from a very authentic place. It needs to come from a very authentic place. But there's a win-win outcome forecast. So maybe it's not avoiding pain and suffering. Maybe it's not avoiding it. It's really dealing directly with suffering, with your own suffering, with other people's suffering. We have this win-win. It's part of the preparation. It's part of is imagining the suffering, seeing the suffering. Heartbreak, like you do have heartbreak here. Okay. So we can have this 10 of flowers. Yay, we did it. But there was a cost, and it was a big cost, and it might be a cost to our faith. It might be a cost to our hopes and dreams. It might be a cost to something. We might have success here. We might complete something, but there might be some pain involved. And the cost, maybe it cost a bit too much. Maybe you went to the party and you bought everybody drinks, and then you go home and you're like, oh my gosh, I actually could not afford that. And now I'm overdrawn and I'm paying fines and fees I clearly don't have money to pay. So yeah, there's a pretty hefty cost to this victory, it seems like. But it says a win-win outcome is forecast. So I think you just have to deal with some nitty-gritty details, and they might be some pretty ugly feelings, some pretty difficult feelings, some jealousy, some anger, some frustration. And you might have to deal with some very difficult feelings as part of this celebration. Maybe you're celebrating someone else's successes or something, and and it's a little difficult for you. Or maybe your success is being celebrated. It's a little difficult. It is a win-win outcome is forecast, but I think that that's part of this preparation. I see this as a win-win outcome happening around you, but I'm not sure you're entirely happy about it, about how everything went down. And yet somehow you're prepared for the next level. But it is like, yeah, feel those feelings, don't stuff them. And maybe it is some sort of communication you need to have with somebody that they're not going to enjoy and they're not going to be happy about it. Maybe there was a win-win outcome, and yet someone needs to be called to task about something that happened during the win or during the party or something like that. Like, yeah, it's just you dealing with some sort of heartbreak, either by having to talk about it with someone and create some knowingly, but not intentionally and gleefully creating hardship for them, or you are experiencing some hardship and there's a strong need to go within because there's still more to be revealed. And there we go. The high priestess is where we're ending up. It doesn't want, that's been interesting about the readings lately. They drop off. And the Aquarius and Pisces readings were both just cliffhangers of just where are we going? We don't know. We don't know. The veil, the high priestess, it's hidden where we're going. Maybe there has been some sort of forecast about it. Maybe there is some sort of prediction going on here. There's a lightening up. There's a mystery, and the cards want it. Tarot, I see the high priestess as representing tarot. They want it to be a mystery. They don't want you to rest on your laurels. They don't want you to feel a guarantee of anything. They want you to get grounded and they want you to prepare for anything. Interesting. They want you well rested. It's interesting because she's now talking about everything that's on this table. And there's just such a need to take time out and get grounded and rest before any action. Well, I hope we covered it. Okay, and then I had this really interesting experience this week. This woman found me, told me that she had been rude to me a few weeks ago. And at first I was like, oh, I don't remember. And then as she was talking, I was like, oh no, I remember. I think it's just part of her personality. I don't think she's like really rude or has rude intentions. I think she just comes across as very abrupt. So yeah, she was rude to me in my capacity as a day job. So she came back, she found me, and she gave me she's an artist, and she had made this set of affirmations. And look, there's even a rose on it. She has no idea about this whole channel. There's a rose on it, and it's her affirmations. So some of them are not affirmations that I need, but everybody needs different things in life. And so I thought I'd just integrate this. It was really, really beautiful that she came back and made amends and made corrections and gifted me with this. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect and lovely. And also there was never any ill intent there from her. It was just, she's just abrupt and very direct speaker. That's all. I did, however, remember the event as she was talking to me. It's like, no, I don't remember, but thank you. But oh wow. Oh yes, no, I do now. So I'm gonna pull one of these affirmations and we're just gonna see what comes up. Oh my gosh. This is so beautiful. It's the rose. They don't all have a rose on them. There's all sorts of different paintings on here. So the past is over. I cannot change it. I can only change the future. And that is very beautiful, because I mean, that's really what she did. She can't go back and change the past. She can't go back and change the way she interacted with me and change what she did, but she could write a new story for us. And now whenever I see her, I'm going to remember this, not what she did before, not what happened before. I'm going to remember this. It's almost like this real, the amends go so far to forgiveness, for genuine forgiveness, for someone that's been wronged, experience heartache, and those amends really, you know, I will never, the next time I see her, and I see her fairly regularly, I'm not going to be like, oh, she's the one that talked to me like that. I'm going to be like, she's the one that gave me this beautiful, beautiful gift, heartfelt gift. And it's so beautiful. And I just love that we got that card, because it just illustrates the whole thing. I can only change the future. And her actions showed that, and it was super beautiful. Anyway, but the future, we just get a big old blank page for the future, and the universe wants that. I think it has to do with like somebody's going into, well, we have Neptune here, Poseidon, and somebody is, who's going into Aquarius? I know this. I know this. It's just gone right now. So one last thing. Oh, I meant. Okay. Trust. This is all that's on the table. Trust. Trust what you feel the divine is communicating to you through the happenings around you. There is divine guidance in all things if we know how to feel and look for it. Through the heart, without silencing our intuition with logic. Through the heart. Through this space. The wounded heart. Through the wounded heart. Yeah. And then intuition is coming in the future. We're going to get intuition. All right. Well, trust. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your heart. Trust that you are being communicated with. All right. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.